email blasts, TikTok trends, paid ads, product shots, SEO blogs, wrapped up by lunch. Easy, right? That's the superhero job description many jewelry brands imagine for a single marketing hire. In today's episode, I'm spinning the expectation versus reality meme to reveal why squeezing a whole marketing department into one desk backfires and what realistic, high-quality marketing help really looks like. I'm Larissa Worstiak, and my marketing agency, Joy Joya, helps jewelry brands thrive. Let's toss aside the one-size-fits-all playbook and create a marketing strategy that actually works. Get ready, it's time for your brand to shine in a sea of sparkle. If you're hunting for a lone marketing unicorn who can crank out viral reels, design show-stopping lookbooks, perfect Klaviyo flows, run profitable ads, and pitch editors before lunch, I've got news. The gap between marketing expectations and reality is wider than the Grand Canyon. I can't tell you how many times I've spoken with jewelry business owners who post a job listing thinking, maybe there's someone out there who can just do it all. One client I worked with hired a recent college grad, handed over the Instagram login, the Klaviyo account, and a whole ad budget. And then they all felt crushed when nothing changed after 30 days. It's not that the marketer failed, it's that the expectations were never aligned. Do you ever feel tempted to post in everything but the kitchen sink job ad? Or maybe you are the one-person marketing army. Either way, this episode's for you. Before you sigh, I know it's too much, but what choice do I have? Stick around. By the end, you'll have a clear step-by-step plan to sanity check your workload, prioritize like a pro, and get better results without torching your time, budget, or morale. So whether you're a solopreneur wearing every hat or a founder hiring your first marketer, today's conversation will help you breathe easier and focus on the moves that truly shift the needle. We've all seen that viral meme about expectations versus reality. Like, what my friends think I do. I just sip lattes and post on Instagram. What my mom thinks I do. Glamorous photo shoots. What I actually do. Analytics dashboards at 11 p.m. That disconnect isn't just funny. It's costly when it comes to your business. When expectations outpace reality, jewelry brands end up with overloaded team members who spin their wheels, surface level marketing that never cuts through the noise, burnout, turnover, and stalled growth. So let's flip that script. Why does getting real with your expectations set you free? Jewelry is tactile, emotional, and personal. And that all means that your marketing needs depth. Splitting thin attention across 10 channels usually means none of them shine. So when you right size your marketing plan, you get sharper focus and clearer messaging, higher ROI from each channel, and happier humans, you and anyone you might hire. Also, more time back for things like design, product development, and life. So I want to talk about 5 really big expectation versus reality moments and how you can fix them if you're coming up against this in your business. This often happens when you're trying to fit a whole marketing department into one seat. And that can be you, or it could be someone that you're hiring. Number 1, one hire equals every marketing role. The reality is that strategy, copy, design, ads, email, PR, and analytics are all separate crafts. Piling them on one person, maybe even you, yields burnout and B- results across the board. So how do you fix this expectation or this belief? Choose just 2 priority channels for 90 days. Like, let's say TikTok, and email marketing. And then hire or outsource only the skills that those channels demand. Or if you can't hire, just pull your focus in together on those high priority channels and try not to worry about or spend so much time on other channels that are not on your priority list. Number 2, the expectation that marketing can yield instant results, because marketing is like a light switch, right? Definitely not. The reality is that building audiences, testing offers, and optimizing funnels can take weeks, if not months, and definitely does not only take hours. So to fix this attitude or expectations, agree on realistic timelines up front. For example, if you're implementing an email welcome flow, don't micromanage it and check the results every day for the first week, because you're not going to see an impact. Instead, set up an expectation like in 60 days, we're going to do an email welcome flow ROI review. That way you can celebrate incremental wins instead of chasing overnight miracles, not putting that expectation on yourself, and definitely not putting it on other people that you are hiring, either in-house, as a contractor, or an agency. Number 3, social content is quick. Just whip up a reel every day. You may know this reality. Planning concepts, filming, editing, writing captions, posting, community management. That in itself can eat 10, 15, 20 plus hours a week per channel. And if you're hiring someone else to do that, I think it's really easy to forget that it will usually take that much time for another person to do. Sometimes we like to believe that, oh, it's super easy if we're hiring something out. And so the expectation fix here is to, 1, just be super realistic about all the time, energy, resources that go into creating content. Or if it's you yourself doing all of that work, batch produce content once a month. Try to repurpose as much as you can. Limit your daily engagement windows so that you or another person also have time for other high impact tasks. So be super realistic about the time and effort it takes to make, post, share content. Number 4, AI and Canva mean we don't need specialists. The reality is, yes, tools speed things up, but you still need strategy, brand voice, and design chops to shine. As the saying goes, garbage in equals garbage out. So the expectation shift or fix here is to treat AI or templated design in, say, Canva as an assistant or a little booster. And then budget time or your employees or your freelancers' hours for polishing, brand alignment, compliance checks, making sure everything is still aligned with strategy, even if you're using tools as shortcuts or assistants. And number 5, let's tack on a podcast / blog / Pinterest account right before we decide to launch something. I do come across this sometimes where the brand, they just get so excited about sharing something new or sharing a change in their business, and they want to really explore every way to do that. And so they'll often add on things at the last minute. It's great to be excited, but it's also important to be realistic and have appropriate expectation. Each new channel, each new marketing initiative adds setup, cadence, strategy, promotion work, and that can stretch you or your lone marketing unicorn even thinner. So make sure you're running every great idea that you have through what's called an ICE filter. That's impact, confidence, and ease, with a score of 1 to 5 for each one. So impact would be what effect, what amazing consequence will this really have from 1 to 5? Confidence. How good do you feel about being able to execute this A plus 100%? And also ease. Is this easy to do and be realistic, or will it take a lot of time, energy, and effort? Anything under 10 in total waits until your core channels are humming and when you have more time to implement correctly. So, we're talking so much about misaligned expectations today. What is the real emotional toll for you or for someone or multiple people that you're working with when expectations are misaligned? This is the part that no one really likes to say out loud. When you constantly feel behind and like nothing you do is enough, it chips away at your confidence in your business or of your employees or your freelancers' confidence as well. You or them might be second guessing. You wonder if you're just bad at marketing or not cut out for this business. But often the real issue isn't you. It's not that you're bad at marketing. It's just the impossible standard that you're trying to meet or that you're setting for other people. Realistic expectations aren't just practical, they're protective. They give you room to grow, space to pivot, and grace to show up as your best self. So, how can you really build a realistic plan without losing your mind? I want you to list every marketing activity you think you need, including what you're doing and what's on your wish list, or maybe what someone told you you should be doing. I want you to realistically estimate the weekly hours it would take to execute each one well. Be honest. And actually, you might want to add an hour or two to each one because often we underestimate the time it will take to do things. Then circle the top 2 items that score the highest on both, again, revenue potential, the impact, and confidence, which I mentioned before, and ease and available resources. And with those things, you want to create milestones, realistic ones. So, for example, welcome flow, make it go live by June 15th, three reels per week, scheduled 2 weeks ahead, and then schedule regular blocks of time to review, track metrics, report on what you're doing, and adjust. That's really it. No 20-point plan, no overwhelm. And if you're doing this with another person, also be realistic about what they can do and build in time for them to be able to rest and recuperate and not burn out. I think that if you're not a marketer yourself and you are hiring for a marketing role or looking for marketing help for your business, it can often be really difficult to wrap your head around and imagine what one marketer can really do. So put yourself in the shoes of you finally decide to hire your person for marketing. You're envisioning someone who will write punch perfect emails, film TikTok gold, tweak your Klaviyo segments, manage your ad budgets, and maybe even redesign your line sheet when the inspiration strikes. Let's call this dream hire Alex. Week 1, the honeymoon. Alex jumps in, brimming with ideas. They tell you they know Klaviyo, Canva, Meta Ads, ChatGPT, you name it, they know how to do it. And you are so excited that you hired this person, you feel a weight lift. Someone else is going to finally juggle all of those flaming marketing torches. Amazing. Week 3, the juggle gets real. Alex's true superpower starts to surface. Every marketer, even a generalist, really does have something that they are stronger at than the other things. Let's say for Alex, that's email strategy. Campaigns are looking sharper. Open rates are climbing. You're seeing amazing ROI from the email campaigns. But while Alex is polishing copy and setting up A/B tests, TikTok kind of goes a little bit quiet and the ad account is left to its own doings, gathering dust. The real lesson I want you to take from this, again, even the most brilliant marketing generalist, even someone who has actual work experience and familiarity with all marketing platforms, that person has a primary lane. And also, there are only so many hours in a week to do all of the things. I would also say that for a marketer, depth in one channel beats a thin layer across 5. So it's in someone's best interest to have a strength. Week 6, the first pivot. A Klaviyo automation is underperforming, and this is the moment of truth. Does Alex diagnose why, form a new hypothesis, and then iterate from there? Or do they shrug it off and schedule another email blast because there's no time to think about strategy? There's no time to think about improvements. Tool familiarity, someone who knows Klaviyo, who's working in it, and who's just getting the job done, does not equal strategy. Not even necessarily because the person doesn't know, but when you're so in the trenches of doing the marketing and there's really a lot of work on your shoulders, it can be hard to step back and try to figure out what can be done better and why things are going wrong when they are going wrong. Anyone can click buttons. A marketer really shows their worth by knowing what to do when the numbers stall. And they eventually will for everyone. It's just marketing cannot work all the time forever the way that it's set up. Week 9 with Alex, you're calling the reinforcements. You and Alex review the 90-day scorecard you set together on day 1, clear goals, a handful of milestones, email metrics, chef's kiss, but ads and social are still lagging. Instead of forcing Alex to just figure it out, you do something amazing. You greenlight a freelance designer and a part-time ad specialist. Alex briefs them, keeps the big picture on track, and suddenly every channel is humming. The moral again, one marketer can steer the ship or row like mad, but not both at once. So give this person authority to call in backup and you'll unlock their best work. How do you hire and keep a real world marketing unicorn? Even though, as I said, there is no real unicorn out there. Ask for a hero case study. So say, show me one channel you grew and walk me through the numbers, the pivots, the strategic changes. Depth is going to tell you a lot more than a resume full of buzzwords and familiarity with a lot of different platforms. You want to probe here for strategic thinking. Also, a question like, what's the first metric you'd check if, say, XYZ tanked? Here you want to look for curiosity and problem solving. Again, not just tool familiarity, like they watched a bunch of YouTube videos on every single tool under the sun. And then really co-create with them a 90-day scorecard. 2 priority goals, clear milestones, weekly check-ins. Agreement up front is really going to save disappointment later and make sure everyone's expectations are aligned. And have a budget for specialists like a part-time designer or an ad agency because that's so specialized. It will cost less than turnover and frees your marketing generalist to work in their zone of genius. When you are hiring for marketing, don't hire fast out of desperation without a clear plan. Don't assume your marketer will just know what to do. Don't skip onboarding or dump everything on their plate on day 1. Do set clear priorities, timelines, and responsibilities together. Marketing isn't about checking every box. It's about choosing the right boxes. Set expectations that match reality, and you'll see clarity, confidence, and conversions soar. As I said, depth beats breadth every time. So this week, I want you to track how many hours you spend on each marketing activity for 7 days, or have one of your team members that handle marketing do that. Then compare your expected hours, what you thought it would take, versus the reality of how long things are actually taking, and circle those big mismatches. I would love to learn about the takeaways you have, what you find, if it causes you to reassess what you're doing and focus on new priorities. DM me on Instagram at JoyJoyaMarketing with your findings. And remember, you don't need to do everything to make meaningful progress. You just need to do the right things consistently. Marketing is not magic, it's momentum. And once you let go of the unrealistic expectations, you'll finally start to feel like you're in control again. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and check out my other videos for even more tips.